Hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. This video is going to be a full lesson on quarterly theory and then 90 minutes cycles. Okay, so stay tuned. This is going to be really helpful if you want to apply quarterly theory in your trading, especially for synthetic indices, because I'm going to explain this particularly for synthetic indices. Okay, so what is quarterly theory? So the word quarter means four, okay, four divisions. So the daily cycle, okay, which is 24 hours, can be divided into 4 quarters. That is 6 hours each. Okay, now within each quarter or within each 6 hour, we can further divide into 4 quarters. And that's what will give us the 90-minute cycles. Okay, so the daily whole 24-hour candle can be divided into 4 quarters, 6 hours each. Within each 6-hour time period, it can further be divided into quarters. That's 90 minutes each to get the 90-minute cycles. So I'm going to show you how you can use the quarterly theory and then the 90-minute cycles on synthetic indices. Now, this setup I'm going to show you is a setup we actually took today, okay, with my VIP team. Okay, and yeah, we actually showed this using quarterly theory. So if you want to know how to apply quarterly theory for synthetic indices, stay tuned and give this video a like. All right, let's get into it. Now, when it comes to synthetic indices, if you want to apply quarterly theory, you should make sure you set your time zone to derive time zone. Okay, now derive time zone is UTC. So if you come to the time zone panel down here, okay, where I'm pointing, and you click on it, you see a lot of time zones here. You're gonna click on UTC. No zero, no plus zero, no minus zero. No plus 1 or minus 1. Just UTC. Okay, just UTC. So you select that and you get derive time. Okay, this is the time zone that derive operates on. All right, so now that you get your time zone, you can also turn your session breaks indicator on so that it can give you session breaks. It can give you the breaks, the 24-hour breaks for each day. Okay, so these black lines are separating each 24 hours of trading, okay, for a particular day. Now that you have these two things done, setting your time zone and then setting the session breaks on, we can go into the chart and mark our quarters. Okay, so as I said, so this black line is when this particular day's trading started, and it will end at midnight 00. And you can see, as whenever I point to the time, look below here, you can see 00 midnight is where today's candle will end, and today's candle will open here. Okay, 00 midnight to 00. So within this 24-hour candle, first 6 hours, as you can see, look at the time. Okay, first 6 hours, that's Q1. Okay, the first quarter of the day. The second quarter will be the next 6 hours, so 12 p.m. So you're going to start marking from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. to midnight, and you get the full quarters here. Okay, so first quarter is midnight 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Second quarter is 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then third quarter is 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to midnight again. Okay, so you can see that it's perfectly divided here, 6, 12, 18, 00. So now we have our quarter, the daily quarters divided. All right, so the daily candle is gonna be either an A.M.D.X or an XAMD. Okay, now A.M.D.X, what it means is accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then the X can be either a continuation or a reversal. okay, a continuation or a reversal. So A.M.D.X. So the first quarter can be an accumulation, the second quarter a manipulation, the third quarter a distribution, and then the last quarter can be what? Continuation or reversal. So X, okay. Now, there's one way the daily cycle can form. Another way the daily cycle can form is XAMD. XAMD means we don't start the daily candle with an accumulation, but it rather distribute for a continuation or a reversal. We don't have any accumulation. It's just a straight up distribution. So if that happens for the first quarter, we would expect the second quarter to be what? An accumulation. And after that, it will follow with what? A manipulation. Okay, a manipulation. And then the last quarter will be what? A distribution. In this particular video, I'm going to center on the first one, A.M.D.X. Okay, I'll make part 2 of this video talking about XAMD. But this particular setup was formed with A.M.D.X. Okay. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then X. Now let's look at the chart. And you have to look at the charts on the 1 hour. Okay, on the 1 hour. That's where you're going to identify your accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and all of that. Okay. So you can clearly see that we have been bearish for quite some time here. Aggressive sell to the downside. Okay. So this particular day started with what? An accumulation. It's very clear that the first 6 hours trading hours were just accumulation. Price was just consolidating, okay, building up orders. Okay, so if price is building up orders, stop losses are going to be resting above, stop losses are going to be resting below. Okay, so that's accumulation. Okay, so if the first quarter has accumulated, we expect the second quarter to do what? To manipulate, right? Now the question is, which side is price going to manipulate, or which side of the consolidation do we expect price to manipulate? Now, as I said, price has been bearish here, so you would expect a manipulation to the upside and then a distribution to the downside, right? Now, when it comes to quarterly theory, you can trade from the manipulation phase and also the distribution phase. Okay, so if the manipulation phase gives you a nice entry, you take it. If you don't get it and you get it during the distribution phase, you take it. So you are looking for entries either on the manipulation phase or the distribution phase. Okay, let me quickly label this thing as accumulation. Okay, so accumulation, then there is manipulation, right? So this distribution, and then the last quarter is going to be what? An X. Okay, so that's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Okay, so Q1 was what? Accumulation. We expect manipulation. Since you are bearish, we are expecting manipulation to the upside to fuel the downside delivery. Okay, so as soon as in Q2 we start to see the manipulation of the consolidation highs. Okay, as you can see, we manipulated the consolidation highs as well as this high that's resting here. As soon as we see this manipulation and we are in Q2, okay, where we are expecting the manipulation, we can go down to the lower time frame to look for what? Entries. So since we are using a 1 hour chart, our entries are going to come from what? The 5 minutes chart. So 1 hour, we have our accumulation in Q1. Q2 gives us manipulation. Immediately we see the manipulation, we go to the 5 minutes to look for market structure shifts and to take our entries. Okay, so let me go to the 5 minutes chart. So this is the 5 minutes chart. Okay, so within the 5 minutes, on the 5 minutes chart, we are looking for what? Market structure shift. So here we can see that price shifted this swing low. Okay, that swing low right there. Price left behind a fair value gap, and that fair value gap is your entry. Very, very, very simple. Okay, very, very simple. So this entry is coming from what? The manipulation phase. Obviously, the distribution phase would even give a better entry. But as I said, the manipulation phase can give you an initial entry, and then the distribution phase can give you a nice continuation. So your initial target will be where at the consolidation lows, okay? And then you can further target some of the lows on the left side of the chart, okay? Simple entry, right? Very, very simple. Now let me go back to the 1 hour chart. So this is the entry that I just showed you on the manipulation phase in Q2, okay? And we realize that in Q3, which is the distribution phase here, okay, you can see how aggressive price sold because it's the real distribution phase after manipulation. So here, if you didn't take the manipulation phase entry, you can wait for the Q3 for a continuation entry. So let's go back to the 5 minutes chart, and you will see a very nice entry that was given during the distribution phase. So this is the 5 minutes chart, and this quarter you are seeing here is the distribution phase, and that's Q3. Okay, this is Q1, Q2, Q3. So we've accumulated right here, manipulated in Q2, and market structure shift. The manipulation phase gives us an entry, and then the distribution phase, we have a nice pullback to 50% of the range. Okay, where is the Fibonacci 2? We have a nice pullback to 50% of this range. So as soon as we hit 50% of the range, we can look for any zone that exists around 50% of that range. Okay, so these areas, this is a breaker block that you can use for an entry. You can also use that fair value gap there as an inversion fair value gap. So let me mark it for you guys. Yeah, this is an inversion fair value gap for a sell. If you go to the 15 minutes, you have a clean fair value gap here that you could have used for entry. Okay, let me jump to the 15 minutes. Okay, right there. So in the 15 minutes, we have this nice bearish fair value gap that you could have used for your entry in Q3, which is the real distribution phase. Q1 accumulates, Q2 manipulates. We expect Q3 to be a great distribution. Okay. Now, since the manipulation phase, we've already confirmed bearish. The distribution phase, what we need is just a pullback into premium levels, fair value gap, order block, whatever level you want to use for the entry. As soon as it gets there, boom, you have the entry, and then you ride the wave, okay, towards your sell side liquidity boost. Now there's let me quickly talk about the 90-minute cycles. So as I said, each 6-hour quarter, okay, each 6-hour division can further be divided into 90-minute cycles. Okay, so that's how you get a 90-minute cycle. So within the third quarter, the distribution phase, let's see the 90-minute cycles. Okay, so okay, so distribution phase, you are looking for what? Sales, right? You're looking for sales. So we can start marking the 90-minute cycles. So from 12, the first 90-minute cycle will be what? 130. Okay, 130 is here. Let me quickly change the color to orange. Okay, so that's the first 90-minute cycle. The second 90-minute cycle will be 3. So 130 to 3 will give us the next 90-minute cycle. So 3 p.m. will be 15. Okay, right. Oh, come on. Okay, 15 right here. That's the second 90-minute cycle. The third 90-minute cycle will be 4:30 to 16:30, and this is the last what do you call it, 90-minute cycle. So within the 90-minute cycle, you can always take your entries after 1:30. Okay, after 1:30, because when it comes to quarterly theory, you always want to avoid the first quarter. Okay, so in this case, the first 90-minute cycle, you want to avoid it. Okay, and you want to see the price action of that 90-minute cycle, the first one, to consider your entries within the second one. Okay, So we can clearly see that the first 90-minute cycle went into that 15 minutes fair value gap here that I marked and gave this clean fair value gap. So order flow has clearly been confirmed bearish. Okay, order flow has clearly been confirmed bearish. So in Q2, you can see a clean pullback to that fair value gap, and then it start to sell off. Normally, when I'm using the 90-minute cycle, I start to look for entries after 130. Okay, after 130. So that was a nice move that you could have used. Okay, beautiful, just beautiful. Okay, so within the Q2, okay, the manipulation phase, let's also use the 90-minute cycle where you will see accumulation, manipulation, and all of that as well. So 6 to 7:30 for first 90-minute cycle, and then 7:30 to 9 for the second 90-minute cycle, and then 9 to 10:30 will be the third, okay, right there, and this will be the last 90-minute cycle for Q2. Now let me get rid of this. Okay, so this is Q2. So you can see that here in Q2, the first 90-minute cycle was what? Accumulation as well. Okay, accumulation. We are expecting what? Bearishness, because previous day has been bearish. Market structure is bearish. Q1 of the first, that's the first 6 hours of trading has accumulated. Already we are expecting manipulation to the upside, right? And distribution to the downside. So the second quarter, which is the manipulation phase, okay? Manipulation phase here. We have divided that manipulation phase into the 90-minute cycles. And let's see what happened. The first 90-minute cycle was accumulation, right? And you can see that the second quarter, the second 90-minute cycle was what? A manipulation. But after the manipulation, we didn't get market structure shifts. We didn't get fair value gaps to sell off from. So price manipulated more into the original consolidation and then also into the highs here, okay? And the third quarter, okay, which is the distribution phase. So accumulation, manipulation. The third quarter, we are expecting what? Distribution. You can see that the third quarter, which is the distribution phase, set off the bearish momentum by breaking structure here with bearish fair value gap, and the entry was given for an X. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then what? That was a nice reversal from here, okay? So this is how you can use quarterly theory on synthetic indices, okay? It's quite simple. I'll come back with part 2, and I'll definitely explain XAMD when I find a setup that matches with XAMD. Now, it's not always that your A.M.D.X and then XAMD is going to be accurate, okay? You only trade the quarterly theory if everything is following up. Like I said, if the daily cycle starts with an accumulation, we want to see a clear manipulation in Q2. But in a case where Q2 also becomes a manipulation, you want to avoid, or you have to avoid using the quarterly theory. Okay. The same thing for the second part, XAMD. If the first quarter is a continuation or a reversal, okay, then we expect the second quarter to be an accumulation. In a scenario where the second quarter does not accumulate, but also give a continuation, the quarterly theory is invalid, okay? You only want to apply the quarterly theory when everything is in line. If the daily starts with accumulation, you want to see it being followed with manipulation, then distribution. We don't want to see accumulation. It doesn't make sense. We also don't want to see reversal, continuation. It doesn't make sense. We only want to see a reversal and then accumulation, okay? That's quite simple. So this was just a beautiful trade that we took today, as I said, with the VIP team, okay? Beautiful trade on VIX 25K, and all TPs were smashed. So join my free Telegram, and I share free setups from time to time. Sign out.